Jedi Initiate, the youngling. You start at the bottom as a Jedi Initiate. You're 4 years old, maybe 5, and you live in a communal dormitory with 20 other kids who are just as confused as you are. You don't have a last name, you have a clan. Maybe you're in the Bear Clan, the Dragon Clan, or the Squall Clan. Your entire world is the four walls of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, which is a massive gold-inspired fortress. While children on other planets are playing in the dirt, you're in the Great Library, staring at the Lost 20. The only masters who were brave enough to walk away. You're told to study their failure, but you can't help but wonder if they found something out there that the temple is hiding. Your days are a blur of discipline and sensory deprivation. You spend hours in the training cell with a blast shield over your eyes, swinging a wooden training saber at a floating remote that shoots stings at you. You are getting groomed into the Force. You learn to see the ozone in the air before the bolt even hits you. You'll even run into Master Yoda here. He won't give you a grand speech, but probably just walk in with a cane, tell a joke you don't understand, and remind you that size matters not while you're struggling to lift a pebble. You don't realize the Masters are watching your every reaction. They aren't looking for the strongest kid, they're looking for the one who doesn't get angry when they lose. Then comes the gathering. You're shipped to the ice planet Ilum and told to find your Kyber crystal in a cave that is literally freezing shut. The cave is a mirror of your soul. It shows you your fears, spiders, heights, the fear of being alone. If you don't find your crystal before the sun sets and the ice seals the door, you are left inside, alone. If you survive that, you still have the initiate trials. If you fail these before your 13th birthday, or if no master picks you, your dream of being a hero dies right there. You're reassigned to the other path, and you never become a warrior. Jedi Service Corps, the alternative path. This is the side of the Order the Holo videos never show. Most initiates never get a real lightsaber. If you weren't combat ready or no master wanted an apprentice, you end up in the Service Corps. It's the blue-collar force. You're still a Jedi, but you're the kind the galaxy forgets. You might end up in the Agricultural Corps, spending your life on a muddy farm planet like Tanab, using the Force to make crops grow, without glory, but with calloused hands and the quiet satisfaction of ending a hunger crisis. You're cutting down blighted wheat to save a village you'll never see again. Or maybe you're in the Medical Corps, working in the halls of healing. You're a nurse. You spend your nights using the Force to knit bones back together, or soothing the minds of dying soldiers who actually got to be real Jedi. Then there's the Exploration Corps or the Education Corps. You're a surveyor mapping the dangerous Outer Rim or a librarian filing ancient scrolls in a dusty archive. It's a peaceful life, but every time you see a Jedi starfighter fly overhead, you feel that sting. You're the backbone of the Order, the people who actually keep the Republic fed and healthy, but you'll never be on a recruitment poster. You live a life of invisible service. Jedi Padawan, the apprentice. You made the cut. A knight or a master looked at you and said, "I can work with this." Overnight, your life changes. You move out of the communal dorms and into a tiny private room next to your master. More importantly, you get the braid, the thin strand of hair behind your right ear, or a chain of silk beads if you're a Togruta, is your badge of honor and your leash. You are now a shadow. If your master goes to negotiate with a Hutt crime lord, you stand behind them and look tough. If they go to a war zone, you're in the trenches right beside them. You learn that the galaxy is much more complicated than the temple floors ever suggested. This is the era of the trials. You have to face the trial of flesh. You might lose a limb, or just carry a scar from a mission that went sideways. Then there's the trial of spirit. You walk into a Force-rich environment like a dark cave, and the Force shows you the worst version of yourself. It's a psychological horror show designed to see if you'll break. You're constantly traveling, eating canned rations, and realizing that your master is trying their best to not let the galaxy fall apart. Think of Anakin and Obi-Wan, that constant friction, the late-night repairs on a damaged ship, and the shared silence after a battle. That is the Padawan life. Jedi Knight, the Peacekeeper. Your master ignites their blade and snips your braid off in a dark room and declares, "By the right of the Council, rise, Jedi Knight." This is the moment you've worked your whole life for. You have absolute freedom. You get your own starfighter. You pick your own missions from the Council's queue. But that freedom feels a lot like a heavy weight. You're no longer a student, but a peacekeeper. In peace, you're a diplomat. In war, you're a general. Suddenly, you have thousands of soldiers, clones, or local volunteers, looking at you to make a decision that won't get them killed. You're responsible for a battalion's worth of lives. This is where you choose your specialization. Guardians carry blue lightsabers and focus on combat. Consulars carry green sabers and focus on diplomacy. Sentinels carry yellow sabers and work as investigators and tech experts. You're solo now. It's gritty, it's dangerous, and the galaxy doesn't always want to be saved. Jedi Master. Being a master isn't about being the best fighter, it's about being a teacher. Usually you earn this rank after successfully training a Padawan into a knight. You're responsible for the future of the Order. You've proven you can pass on light without letting your ego corrupt it. You are like Qui-Gon Jinn, someone who values the Force over rigid rules. You also preside over the Jedi High Council, which means your daily life involves trying to get 12 of the most powerful, stubborn minds in the galaxy to agree on a single course of action. Your life slows down. You spend more time in meditation, in gardens, or in council chambers. Younger knights come to you when they're afraid or uncertain. You begin to understand the Force not as a tool, but as something you must flow with. You learn the hardest lessons, letting go. You accept that you can't save everyone. Master of the Order. This is where it gets political. This is an elected role, the CEO of the temple. You are Mace Windu now. You're not on missions anymore. You sit in war rooms, analyzing holographic maps, moving Jedi like chess pieces based on what the Senate demands. You are the bridge between spirituality and politics. It's exhausting and thankless. You deal more with bureaucracy than with the Force. You have the power to change the galaxy, but you're buried in paperwork instead. Grandmaster. There's only one, the ultimate spiritual leader of the Jedi Order, and you are the voice of the Force for the entire galaxy. When a massive disturbance ripples through the cosmos, you feel it first, and it physically aches. You carry the weight of every single Jedi, balancing the light and the dark on your shoulders. It's a profoundly lonely position. Because of your deep connection to the Force, you have likely outlived almost everyone you have ever trained. Watching initiates you knew as toddlers grow old and pass on while you remain. You sit high up in the temple, overlooking Coruscant, burdened with visions of possible futures that you can't always prevent. You know the Republic depends on your absolute calmness. If you show fear, the entire Order shatters with you. You have total, unquestioned authority, but absolutely no peace. You are no longer a warrior. You are a pure servant to the will of the Force. And in the end, that's the only rank that truly matters. Thanks for watching. This video took a lot of research to get the lore right, so if you enjoyed this, look into the Order. Please hit that like button and subscribe. May the Force be with you.